and I hope I have cleared all the topics, and you also watched my all the topics that I have covered. That is now today's topic. We will cover about what is the covalent bond and coordinate covalent bond. So it is a very important topic. Topics whether it is fall. Let's start with the covalent bond. And if the new students that joined me, welcome to the new students who joined my lecture. Want to learn something new, so don't mind because of internet problem here. Covalent bond, covalent bond. Okay, this is covalent bond. Electron deficient come closer to each other and share their electrons with to each other. Okay, they do not fully donate an electron or fully gain an electron. They only just share their electron, mutual share. Okay, I think, okay, hydrogen, I know you all know that the hydrogen has one electron. Okay, and other one. Okay, so these one electron previously, so I just only explained it that the hydrogen completes duplet. So how the compares duplet, because hydrogen has one electron, hydrogen completes duplet. Now look at the hydrogen, green hydrogen, it also has one electron, and other one, that electron is shared between the two atoms, and we call it as a sample of, okay, oxygen, O2, and oxygen. How many number of electrons? One, two, three, four, five, six. As we bonds. Ticket number of electrons in oxygen is six, and other one, two, three, four electrons, valence electrons, and this oxygen completers octet. In order to complete, they shared their two electrons in order to complete its octet, so they formed the double covalent bond. So this is the double covalent bond is formed between the oxygen atom, so we call it as two small lines. Triple covalent bond, how triple covalent bond is formed. So now let's move. One, two, three, four, five. Five valence electrons. So now they have a deficiency. They have to complete its octet. So in order to complete its octet, they needed 8 electrons, but they have only the 5 electrons. So 5 electrons means they have a deficiency of 3. Deficiency. So I will show you all the examples. I hope you clearly understand about all that. Now, funny, I will. So here you will see the, I will write the question in a chat. How so question in chat. So you please give me answer about that type of bond. So they come close to each other. So a two atom approach attractive forces pull their nuclei towards each other electrons. Simultaneously, repulsive forces push similar charges apart. ठीक है? To lower their energy to become, give you the example of oxygen, double bond oxygen, and of the formation of covalent compounds. Formation of formation of covalent compounds. Okay, so now what is the formation of covalent? share their single electron, with oxygen has 4, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 valence electrons there in the oxygen atom. So they have a deficiency of 2 electrons. So that hydrogen that has the 1 electron in their valence electron, covalent bond is formed between the water molecule. So another question is about carbon dioxide, ammonia. Now I will move towards the ammonia. That which type of the covalent bond is formed between the ammonia. 1, 2, 3 fulfilled by the hydrogen atom. So these three atoms are mutually shared between the nitrogen and the hydrogen. So a single covalent bond is formed between covalent bond is formed in the methane. So first of all, we have to know the formula of methane, which is CH4. Efficiency will be removed by sharing the mutual sharing of the electrons. So these all are the examples of the formation of covalent bonds, that which type of the bond is in ammonia, in methane, and there are so exams, but you have to, so for you to understand the things, so simple concepts. So simple concept is needed up to the level metric, or to the level of 10. So very reply in the chat. So please reply quickly. What type of the form? What type of the bond, covalent bond is for? Now, I have shown you all the structures of the relevant to the covalent compounds. Now let's move towards another topic, which is the polar bond and the non-polar bonds. So what is the polar and non-polar? A very important question in the sense of that what is the difference between the polar and the non-polar compounds. So let's move towards this topic. So if you have any query regarding to the covalent compounds, so you may polar covalent bonds. This is our another topic, and the question that is still here is that which type of the covalent bond is formed in carbon dioxide. So this is the your assessment, so you have to answer it. Okay. And I wanna see you that how many of the students know about what I describe in covalent compounds, whether they know or not. Polar covalent bonds. Okay, this is polar and non-polar. Non-polar, how you define it? Non-polar. So non-polar covalent bond is formed between the identical atoms, mean if two atoms that are very equal, that have the same type O2 like Cl2, that are identical, that is hydrogen hydrogen bond, oxygen oxygen bond, that is chlorine chlorine bond is formed between these similar type of the is exactly describe you that how the shared electron pair lies in the middle of both the atoms because tendency that have these same forces of attraction, so they attracted the shared pair of electrons, so they electrons, this oxygen also has 6 valence electrons. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This also has 6 valence electrons. They shared pair of electron towards itself in a very equal way. So their shared electron pair lie exactly in the middle of both the atoms. Okay, so pure covalent character and the no charge separation. Okay, so example is two and two. So all these are the examples of type. What is the polar covalent bond? So in non-polar, it is the formation of a bond between the two identical atoms, but in polar covalent bond, it is formed between the two non-identical atoms. Non-identical atoms. Non-identical atoms like that of HCl. Okay. So here the bond formed is called the polar covalent bond because hydrogen has s electronegative. Okay, while chlorine is more electronegative element. So there is much difference between the hydrogen and the chlorine. So a great difference between the electronegativity value, we call it as the polar covalent bond, and it creates a partial positive and partial negative charges are created in them. I will show you that how they formed partial positive and partial negative charges. Let's take the example of HCl. Okay, hydrogen. Hydrogen is you will say that hydrogen has the tendency that it will is you say less electronegative, so it carries the partial positive charge. So these partial charges are created between them. Why they created between them? Because the bond that is formed between electronegative and the atom with more electronegative carry partial negative charge, while the atom that has the less electronegativity carries the partial positive charge. So here in this example, hydrogen is less electronegative, so it carries partial positive charge, while chlorine is more electronegative, so it carries the partial negative charge. So shared electron pair bonds towards the more electron towards electronegative atom. So you know that the chlorine is more electronegative. We say it more electronegative. So it इलेक्ट्रॉन को छीनने की कोशिश करेगा, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन को ज्यादा छीनेगा. हाइड्रोजन लेस इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव है, इसमें छीनने की ताकत कम है. जब छीनने की ताकत कम है तो इसका मतलब ये है ये इतना नहीं छीन पाएगा, जिसकी वजह से इसको that because this I have covered this so that I made this message. I hope you understand my this point. Now let's move towards another topic. If you have any difficulty, then let me first coordinate covalent. Third electron pair is donated the covalent bond where the shared electron pair is donated. First of all, here we will discuss the donor and acceptor as well. So, what is donor and what is acceptor? Pointing towards the acceptor. Okay, acceptor, and this tail is towards the pointing towards the donor. Okay, so I understand about coordinate covalent bond. Okay, So this is also very important question in examination point of view. Yes, very common example is ammonia, NH3. And as I discussed it, that nitrogen has five valence electrons. So one is that I will show you. One is that five. One is that means five valence electrons here. ठीक है, it is bond lone pair toward the boron, and so this is called ammonia is called the donor. So this is the concept of donor, and you can understand my concept. So I don't think there is any to nothing to them और मैं लाइव डेली लिया करेंगे. ओके सो मुझे दीजिए इजाज़त, फिर मुलाकात होगी एक नए एक्साइटिंग लेक्चर के साथ. तब तक के लिए अपना बहुत ज़्यादा ख्याल रखिएगा, अपने प्यारों का बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा और पढ़ाई को टाइम लाज़मी दीजिएगा. ओके सो अल्लाह हाफ़िज़.